What's new, pussycat?
Whoa, whoa, whoa. I like how we started that one.
It's good, wasn't it? What is
Yeah.
new, pussycat?
It's a strawberry. I don't know. I froze. I panicked. I blacked out for a minute. Did I say something stupid?
You said something about strawberries.
I'll have to send you this video that I'm referencing. It's pretty funny. It's related to curly hair, and it's pretty funny.
How's the Hurly Cair? How's the Hurly Cair going?
I don't know. I don't know if you can tell. How does it look?
It
With
looks
my headphones, it
fabulous.
kind of ruins my vibes, but
I don't want to be ruining your curls. I'm sorry.
no, it's fine. I'll live. But I feel like I'm getting the hang of it.
Looks good.
Thanks.
How's the like routine? Is it getting easier? Is it?
Yes, it is, and it doesn't take that long. Something I was concerned about because I've gotten very used to like not needing that much time anymore. The thing is that your hair has to be fucking wet, kind of the entire product application. And
Okay.
like, so there's a lot of methods. Like there's this bowl method that you have to have like a bowl that you dip your hair in. And I was like, that's messy because where am I going to put this bowl? And so
How
I
big
have
is the bowl?
basically just big enough that you can like dip your head in upside down and like get it wet as you're
Like a sick
applying
bowl.
it. Yeah, pretty much. Sick bowl, popcorn bowl, whatever. And so I've tried that, but I was also like, this is too much work. I got to figure something else out. So now I have a spray bottle at my dressing table that I just am constantly like, just wet hair.
You got the wet look.
Well, so, and it is funny because you apply your products, you kind of let it air dry. I use a little bit of a diffuser to speed it up. But then your hair, because of all these products, it's kind of crunchy and wet looking, but then you have to let it dry and then you crunch it out. So then it's not wet looking and then you have these kind of like nice soft. And so I've gotten the hang of that, but there was a couple days early on where I just still looked wet after all of that. I was like, why do I still look wet?
Just like you've got wet look gel in your hair.
Yes. And I
Yummy.
realized this because I was using oil to scrunch out the crunch, which is a curly girl method term for those of you who are curious or phrase. And I was like, I actually don't need the oil because I don't think my hair is that dry. So I cut that out and it stopped looking wet. So now it's like, kind of nice and soft and fluffy. And like yesterday, they looked good until I got really sweaty playing sticks and cups. And then it was like, it just felt like I had like, I don't know, like the atmosphere was my curls and the heat was trapped under it and global warming was occurring on my head.
Your own ozone layer.
Yes. And I went to a conference on Thursday, and that's with like a bunch of my colleagues and people in the field. And I got so many compliments on my hair, and I was like, thanks, this is my natural hair, actually, and I'm trying to lean into it.
Amazing. That must have felt good.
It did, because I'm a little worried, like, maybe this really isn't my look, but people are very nice about it. So
good. It looks fantastic. I've been having hair issues, actually.
Tell me more.
So I've got obviously quite long hair, but it's layered. And I've noticed this has only been like a recent thing, probably in the last like year. My top layer, when I wash it, and regardless of whether I blow dry it or let it dry naturally, my top layer is just frizz. And so I like have to straighten it because otherwise I just feel like I've got a fucking frizz on the top layer and it's really
Maybe you have
horrible.
curly hair, actually.
Well, this is it. So I was looking up solutions to this problem and it just kept taking me to loads of like curly hair forums and I was like, but my hair's really straight. But maybe it isn't.
You should look up the curly girl method and try just a real basic like beginner's routine of it and see what happens, because they say that when you have frizz, it's because your hair actually has got some, and maybe it's not like spiral like mine is, but maybe you have a little bit of a wave.
Yeah, I did definitely think I got a bit of a wave. Like if I go in the ocean or in chlorinated water, then my hair goes curly.
So maybe you need a little bit of a sea salt like texturizer spray. But basically, so what I recommend you should do, kind of shampoo, do a deep condition because that'll help with any dryness, which could also be contributing to frizz. scrunch the crunch, as they say, which basically is like get it
Crunch the
real in there by
crunch.
kind of like when it's hair, you're wet and you have your conditioner, just like really scrunch it in
Did
there.
you do that with the conditioner in?
Yeah.
Ah,
Yeah,
okay. And
squish
it's a
actually
leave-in conditioner.
yeah, you can do a leave-in too. I mean, I have one, I do that, but I have like I've been doing a co-wash right now, but you basically you squish to condish is the phrase. They have a lot of
I'm loving
little
all these
catchphrases.
phrases.
I know it's cute, but I'm also like squish to condish, crunch the crunch. Um, so do that, and then when you get out, maybe get a spray bottle or something too, or do it in the bathroom. And then when you apply, so I would say probably get a cream because that'll help with frizz. That'll make it the soft thing, and then get a gel, but like a light hold gel. And you're really going to want to coat your hair, and you're going to do the thing where you let it sit, get a gel cast is what it's called, and then when your hair's dry, you crunch it out. But use a t-shirt, don't use a towel if you don't have
Oh.
like a microfiber towel, because another thing that causes frizz is just people using regular bath towels.
Yes, I read this. That I should get, a
But if you just
special
have an
towel.
old cotton t-shirt, that's what
Can use
people
that.
use.
Okay.
People, instead of getting like I have a microfiber towel, obviously, because I love spending my money on shit. But try a t-shirt first just to see, and then if you're like, oh my god, actually, yeah, then maybe you can invest in some
Okay.
things.
Right, good tips. Yeah, I mean, I read that it could just be like exposure because it's the top layer that's exposed to the
Could be a little
elements,
bit more
sun,
damaged.
and
Yeah.
but I straighten all my hair and curl all my hair, and like these bottom layers, look,
Yeah.
it's
Very shiny
lovely.
and smooth. Yeah.
That's why I'm wearing it in a half ponytail today to try
Could
and
just need a trim too.
could, yeah.
But I
Because
think a
that's what
deep
I thought
conditioner will
initially. I
help.
thought, oh god, I've damaged the top of my hair. But then even getting it cut didn't make a difference. But yeah, I think I need to get like some oils as well. Do like an oil treatment. Anyway, this is probably really fucking boring for
No,
everyone
it's so
listening.
interesting to
Sorry.
me. But I want to see your results. But it could be
Yeah,
it
okay.
could be a number of things, but I'm curious if maybe you also need to start leaning into your natural hair texture.
Maybe we're both curly girls.
Yep. And then you don't need to blow dry and straighten it, but I hope you are using
Mm,
a heat protectant when you do those things.
sometimes.
That is probably you fucked up your hair. Yep.
Yeah, probably. Oh well.
Good luck. Wish
Thank you.
you well on your journey for I love this for you.
I will do some research and I'll buy some shit and I'll let you know what happens.
You probably have stuff at your house though that you can at least try it with before you
I
spend a
don't
lot of
have
money
many
on
hair
things like I did.
products, to be
Oh,
honest.
then
Yeah.
get a cheap gel and a cheap curl cream and try it
Tell you
out.
what, though, I stopped using Olaplex shampoo.
Yeah, there was some concern about that. I think it's meant to be temporary. So you were using
I
it and
was using
noticing
it.
you had good results, then you should have stopped. So,
Yeah.
because now your hair probably has too much protein in it.
Well, I noticed that a lot more hair was coming out when I conditioned it. Like when I was brushing it through, I was like, fucking hell, I'm losing a lot of hair. And my hair stopped growing.
Yeah.
Like my hair grows super quick. And it just like, since I last got it trimmed, I think it was in February this year.
Oofed.
I don't get my hair cut a lot.
Yeah. I mean, you don't need to if you are keeping it kind of long
No,
and
it's all right.
and keep taking care of it, right?
I get it trimmed when I start noticing split ends. And yeah, usually my hair grows super duper fast, and it had not grown like at all since I got it cut. And literally, I stopped using it, and it's gone from like there to my
Jesus.
tits
Yeah.
in like a couple of months. And I was like,
I
it's that
think
fucking shampoo, man. It's stopping my hair growing.
because it's yeah, I read about also it causing hair loss for people, but I think it's really because people think they use it indefinitely and then you end up getting too much protein, your hair gets brittle, it's not healthy, it can't grow. It falls out because it's so brittle. So it's really meant to like be a reparative, and then when you kind of get your hair back to a good state, you stop and then you use things to maintain it.
I've still got it, and I'm using it every now and then.
Don't use it for a couple months, just stop.
Okay. All right. Noted.
I've noticed since I've switched to what I'm doing now, I've had a lot less like hair shed too. So
Really?
part of it is also when you, I think, stop fighting your kind of natural hair texture, your hair doesn't fall out as much.
Cool. Well, all good things to take away from that. Hopefully, I won't
Beauty
be bored.
corner with the Ink and a Brit.
Beauty corner, bitty bitty bee.
Boo. I think other than that, things have been fine over here. It's been hot.
Hot
Had a
girl
lot of rain.
summer.
Yeah, had still a lot of fucking rain. Had a dream yesterday or last night that like our street flooded and my car was out there and then like our garage collapsed. It was strange.
Oh.
I don't know what that means. Dream interpreters, let me know. Um,
I'm gonna look it up.
the stuff I know we've took a break since we last had a podcast, but we talked about I think the assassination attempt of Trump then. And a lot of things have happened since that last
Sorry, can I just
episode.
interject?
Yes.
I think this is quite relevant. A dream about a flood usually symbolises overwhelming emotions or situations in waking life as a metaphor for feeling out of control.
Oh, yeah,
Continue.
that is, I am someone who very much like internalizes, I think it's because I just have a lot of empathy, but I find the state of the world and our current, political environment and what's going on in America very stressful. It really impacts me.
Mm-hmm.
Um, that's why my therapist a while ago was like, maybe don't read the news. And I was
Stop
like, that is a good
reading.
point. And I will try, but I can't, especially right now. It's just like it's too
Yeah.
much. And I really do think it's important to stay informed too. Um, but as you saw, and I think commented to me when it happened, Biden decided to step down from the race.
Hallelujah.
Yeah, I really felt, particularly after the debate, that was something that probably needed to happen. But of course, it was like the unknowns of what that means and who it could be was
Mm-hmm.
really scary too. Um, but I think ultimately it was the right move, and I think the timing was really good because it was after they already locked in Trump,
Mm-hmm.
um, and they were preparing for a race against Biden.
Yeah.
And then, Biden stepped down. He endorsed his vice president, Harris, which initially I was kind of like, and obviously he had to endorse her. Like we talked about that off air, why that was, whether or not she ended up being the candidate, he had to endorse her.
Yeah.
But I think people were like, my concern about like how people felt about her, or just the fact that I live in a country that hates women and hates women of color even more, that I was
Mm.
like, is this country going to elect its first female president? And is it going to be a Black woman or a Black Asian woman, a mixed race woman? I have my doubts about that because I live in this country and I know what
Mm.
people believe and are like,
But I
even the
think you
woke
should
people.
try and look at it positively because
I'm
there are
trying.
millions of people that do want that.
Yes,
You want that.
I do.
And come on, everyone.
Reading the news has made me feel a little more optimistic about it
Good.
based on the responses and stuff. I really need white women. I need you to put your money where your mouth is, though, and support Harris and vote for her and get all in behind her because, like, this kind of like, oh, yeah, woman, yay. And yeah, I'm not racist, but then like how we actually behave and what we do and
Mhm.
our actual kind of subconscious beliefs, I'm concerned. So I need everyone who said that anyone but Biden, even Harris, like, I need you to actually follow through with that now.
Yeah. I mean, she's clearly very capable.
Yes.
She's a strong, articulate woman.
Mhm.
I think she'd do a good job. I mean,
Mhm.
I know you've like voiced concerns about her previous role as
Beliefs, yeah,
a
and choices
beliefs
as yep,
as a
as a
prosecutor.
prosecutor. Yeah.
But hopefully she's learnt and opened her eyes and
Yeah.
changed.
Well, and if she's representing a party that, um, believes in rights of marginalized communities, then she also needs
Mhm.
to adopt those beliefs in order to effectively represent us. So, I'm fingers crossed that that's not gonna, transfer over into a presidency of hers. I also think it was obviously a while ago in a different role,
Yep.
but like, I look at track records and beliefs and things that they supported and didn't support more so than the color of their skin.
Mhm.
But I do think she can be a very good president. So,
Go Kamala!
and also I think it's just really important considering what we are at risk of having if it
Yeah.
were another Trump, um, presidency, like the Project 2025. Have you heard about that?
Yes, I have heard about that, but
Mhm.
I would like to know more.
So this came out. They started Project 25 started becoming like this known thing not too long ago. It's put out by the Heritage Foundation, which is like a super extreme conservative think tank hate group. And they put out basically like this doctrine, mandate, I don't know, a plan, an agenda that is basically, if Trump is president, this is what's going to happen, because they say, and this is where I'm not as familiar, because again, our research before talking about it is non-existent. We rely on what we already know. That Trump kind of initiated this movement when he was previously president and in the years like after and during his presidency, about what things he believes in and will support and what people who support him believe in. And so they formed this blueprint. It's called, created by the Conservative Heritage Foundation, that lays out a far-right Christian vision for Trump's second White House term if he wins in November. It's the latest mandate for leadership that the group has been releasing ahead of the incoming presidential administration since the early 1980s. So they've been doing like this kind of what's the word I'm looking for? Bullshit, I guess I'll just call it, for a while. But the most recent blueprint is super concerning for a variety of reasons. One being like really kind of just wiping away rights for people, which last I checked and talking to people who are fans of Trump, you all feel really strongly about rights. So I don't understand why some rights get taken away and others are, kept in place. I mean, I do understand, but the hypocrisy is astounding. So one of the things that they suggest is transforming the FBI, which I think everybody knows what the FBI is, into a politically motivated entity, also abolishing the Department of Education.
Yes. Yeah, I saw that. Why? What?
Well, we
What's
can't
that gonna
educate
achieve?
people because if they're dumb, then they're easier to control. I don't
yes.
know. Like, it's just because they hate that kids get free lunches. They hate that they teach things that are, not fully Christian,
They hate that
biblical
people can
canon.
read.
Yes, pretty much.
Wow.
Also dismantling the National Oceanic and Atmospheric Association because, again, climate change is fake, according to some people.
Yeah.
But that group also tracks hurricanes. So now we want hurricanes to be a surprise.
We want to live on the edge.
Yep. It would bar U.S. citizens from receiving federal housing aid if they live with anyone who is not a citizen or a permanent legal resident. So up to a couple years ago, that would mean that if Sean and I needed it, we would not be able to get federal housing aid.
Okay, right.
Potentially terminate the legal status of 500,000 Dreamer immigrants. I don't know if you recall the Dreamer Act. It's basically like the kids who were brought over at very young ages from a different country with their parents. They created this act to basically give them a pathway to citizenship because when you're 1 year old, you don't really have the intent to like enter illegally into a country and you've lived here your whole life. It's basically your home. Right. So get rid of that.
Do away with them.
Someone also told me that any non-natural born citizen, aka Nigel, lose their citizenship.
Oh,
they take it back.
They're just going to take that back.
Yeah,
cool.
Trump tried to say that he didn't have anything to do with this. He didn't create it, but definitely it's based on shit he said though, and also his former like staff when he was in the White House and involved in his campaign. They all went and they're now working for the Heritage Foundation. So to say that he has nothing to do with it is a lie.
Okay, interesting.
So yeah, 140 people who worked in the Trump administration contributed to Project 2025 in some way. He also spoke at the Heritage Foundation dinner 2 years ago.
Right.
And
so he's quite entangled with it, we can assume.
And his pick for VP, JD Hillbilly Elegy Vance, also supports the Project 2025
and has
dogma.
Publicly said that. Right.
Yep. It also aims to end all of government efforts to achieve equity relating to gender, race, and sexuality. And it encourages the next presidential administration to disband Gender Policy Council created by Biden and undo all of its work to get rid of all of the diversity, equity, and inclusion programs across the federal government. They want to take the following terms out of every rule and regulation. So sexual orientation, gender identity, DEI, gender, gender equity, gender awareness, gender sensitivity, abortion, reproductive health, and reproductive rights. So basically those words now are erased from any sort of law, regulation, or policy.
Surely that would mean that they couldn't ban abortion, though, because if they're taking that wording out, then they can't use it themselves.
We'll just have to call it schmishmartion.
Schmishmartion. You're not allowed to have a schmishmartion.
Yep. They also they deny the existence of transgender people, which has got to be weird for transgender people because it's like, hi, I'm right here.
Hello. Don't know whether you know me, but...
Undermines the rights of same-sex married couples, dismantle services for LGBTQ plus Americans wherever possible, primarily via the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, which they want to rename to the Department of Life, which is a really fun board game, but I don't think that's what they mean. So this newly named agency will take an official stance that families are made up of a married father, a married mother, and children, and redirect federal funds to support biblically based, I did quotes for people who can't see me.
You know what this sounds like?
Fucking
Handmaid's Tale.
Yes,
Gilead is what this sounds like.
It does. Yes, it does.
Shit the bed.
Yep.
We will also introduce lovely red outfits and white bonnets for housemaids.
Color. And as a childless cat woman, as JD Vance has referenced, I don't even get a red one. I get probably a puke yellow one, a cat puke yellow robe to signify my status as a childless cat lady.
Brown. You get brown. Gray.
Yep.
Oh no, I like wearing gray.
I do too.
Yeah.
Some ugly color though.
Yeah, swamp green. Actually, no, I like that as well. Orange. No one looks good in orange. Be like
perfect. Prison. It'll be orange. Yeah. It's just such a hot mess. And, other things like, they want to get rid of no-fault divorce, which I find bizarre. I get why, because I think what it would do is make it a lot harder to get divorced. But no-fault divorce actually benefits men a great deal. So that's a weird one to me, but fine.
What's their reasoning behind that?
Here, let's find out.
Dig in.
My suspicion is because it would, if they're trying to preserve the sanctity of male-female marriage, then no-fault divorce makes it so, like, if you want a divorce, you can get a divorce. When there was fault-based divorce, you had to go and prove that there's a legitimate reason for the divorce, and it has to be based on behavior, actions, reasons of at least one person. That's like, so someone's at fault, right?
Right. So basically, we'd get rid of the I can't say this word. Irreconcilable differences.
Yep.
Irreconcilable.
Irreconcilable.
Irreconcilable. Thank you.
So I suspect that's why, because that really supports kind of the biblically based ideals.
Go fuck yourselves.
But again, it still benefits men. No fault divorced, anyways. But JD Vance has called no-fault divorce one of the greatest tricks that I think the sexual revolution pulled on the American populace.
Oh,
this is coming from a guy who tried to fuck a couch when he was a kid and thought he was gay because. So I don't know, whatever.
Fuck a couch.
But basically, conservatives want to return to the fault divorce legal system in which marriage was fundamentally binding unless one spouse and only one violated anything on a list of faults articulated by states in a hodgepodge fashion. Judges had the power to deny divorces for multiple reasons, leaving people who wanted no part of marriage stuck together.
Oh, that sounds fun.
Mm-hmm.
And healthy.
Mm-hmm. They don't want to just resurrect the system. They want to make it worse. The fault divorce system assumed men to be breadwinners who were required to continue providing support for their wives if they were at fault for divorce. It was part of a social contract in which wives had to provide household labor, ranging from childcare to sex, in exchange for financial security. So that's what I mean by it benefits men, because they also can get divorced and they don't have to pay alimony like they did originally. But no, you might if you're found to be at fault because you violated one of the things on the list, and then you also have to keep paying your ex-wife.
Yeah. But we don't live in that society anymore. Like in most families, it's not a case of the man supporting.
No, sometimes it's the other way around.
And also, people don't fucking get paid enough and inflation's so fucking high that you need 2 incomes to support a household.
Oh,
So
you know what? I was wrong, though. They actually are going to get rid of the part where there's alimony or having to continue to pay. Like, they want everything but the part that doesn't benefit them.
okay, of course. Yeah,
and by them, I mean men. So.
Oh my God.
Yeah. Yep. So I am sickened and stressed by these potential consequences of a Trump presidency. And I need everyone who also is concerned to go out and vote.
Yeah, see, I'm speaking to you listeners now from an unbiased perspective because I don't live in the US. But my opinion is you're going to be fucked if Trump gets in. We've already experienced what happened. And quite honestly, I was sick of seeing him on the news in England when he was president. So if you could kindly go out and vote for... Is Kamala officially running now?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So she's your candidate.
I don't think we've had the DNC, the National Convention, which we talked about that last time too, how like we have an incumbent or we have a convention to pick you. So we're having that now. And I think I misspoke last time, it would have been if Biden stayed in place, but it really is kind of just like a formality. And I think it will be too for Harris, because I think she is the de facto nominee. So
where's Bernie Sanders?
I really, I love him. I think he is supporting her too. I think as much as I would be a great president and I think wants to run, I think he's kind of like, well, even my own party is going to make sure I don't do it. But I think he cares more about the country than himself being president too, which is nice.
Yeah. And he's got a really cute name, Bernie. Reminds me of like a Bernese mountain dog.
He's just a caring, he cares about other people. That is the leader we need. But I think a lot of political figureheads, powerhouses are getting behind Kamala. Or Kamala.
Cool. Well, we'll see how it pans out. But I feel a lot more positive for you guys now that Biden stepped down, and hopefully everyone will go out and vote for her.
Yep, we need to.
It'd be great if it was, I don't know how your voting system works, but if it was like a landslide.
Yeah, that would be nice. We can talk about the actual, we did a little bit, but we have the electoral and the popular vote. The popular vote is the actual individual votes. The electoral vote is like the number you get from the states you win from the It's a very confusing system.
That sounds confusing.
But yeah, but we have 100 days until the election. So
100 days. You do know that Trump's just going to be like, it was fixed. Even if she does win.
Of course.
It was rigged.
He's going to, I don't know, do another insurrection maybe.
Yeah, probably.
Somehow. Yeah. All right. On that note, go vote. It's important.
Go vote.
Frankly,
every vote counts.
I want you to not vote for Trump, but I also just want you to vote.
Yep. Don't not vote. Although that is your choice as well. I don't agree with it, but that is your choice as a
Why not
citizen.
Exercise a power you're given?
Exactly. One of the only powers you have to make change, guys.
Mm-hmm.
Come on.
It really is. Yeah.
Cool. Well. Further updates to follow. Watch this space.
Watch this space.
Mind the gap.
Don't mind the gap. Fall into the gap.
Yeah.
Disappear forever.
Into the crevice of this world.
I do think that the gaps that are being minded on like the tubes and stuff in England, it's actually a portal to another world, and we want it to be a secret because it's a very special world and not everyone should go.
Yeah, it wouldn't surprise me if there is an underworld in the undercarriage of a train.
Underneath.
Under the sea, under the train. Right. In a little pivot.
Pivot.
I've come across some questions that I thought would be fun to ask you. I'll also answer them.
Good.
Just to, like, get to
Get to
know
know
each other.
Finally.
Yeah.
Who are you?
Who the fuck are you?
I'm Kate. Nice to meet you.
I mean, I've known you for a very long time, but I know nothing about you apart from that you have curly hair. So.
Nothing at all. All right, let's do this. I'm looking forward to this, and then we can decide if we're compatible.
Yeah, this is our dating questionnaire. What movie never fails to make you cry?
So I will give a general answer of like a theme, and then I will perhaps provide an actual movie.
Well, first question actually is, do movies make you cry? Because some people just don't cry in movies.
Yes, movies do and have made me cry. I think it depends on probably my mood.
Yeah,
too.
that really has an
If it's
impact.
close to my menses, then I might be more willing. But I've found that pretty consistently, like family-based, like tragedy or upsetting moments. So, like a good example would be when Simba's father died in The Lion King.
Oh my god.
Homeward Bound, stuff
Yeah.
related to animals, definitely stuff related to animals dying or, getting sick or lost for sure will make me cry.
That's what gets me. Usually
Yes.
I'm not bothered about humans dying, but give me a movie where a dog dies, Marley and
Mhm.
Me. Oh,
Mhm.
fucking wreck.
Yep. A Dog's Purpose. Yeah.
My
The
god.
Art of Racing in the Rain was a book first, and I cried reading this book.
Mate, I've read a couple of dog books, and obviously the dog
The
always
dog.
dies at the dog always dies at the end, and
Yeah.
I was like ugly crying, like
Yeah. It's so upsetting. Yes.
oh, it's just horrendous.
So that for sure. And then I've noticed, and this is probably going to say a lot about me and my family of origin, but like things where there's like an emotionality between like a parent and child. I'm not expressed. I can't, and I'll have to think about it a little bit if I can come up with a movie, but I've found that those touch me in like and like bittersweet things and happy things too. Those also touch me, and I think it's probably because of something missing from my own childhood.
Oh god, we're
Yeah.
getting very deep now.
Yeah, it is what it is. But yeah, especially, or if it's like an animal parent-child situation.
Oh god.
Like The
Then you're
Lion King.
fucked.
Yes.
Yeah,
So,
the
yeah.
film that made me cry the most in recent years was actually The Notebook.
That one didn't make me cry.
Oh, really? I think again, like I might have been in a bit of a
Soppy mood.
yeah, or just like a quite fragile emotional state when I watched it, and
Yeah.
I don't know what happened, but I was just inconsolable. Like I was like, why am I crying over Ryan Gosling? Fucking
Yeah,
honestly,
I think
it was really,
I think it's meant to be like people talk about that being a movie that
Mm.
makes them cry. So I think that was the goal. Up, I think, is a similar with
That
in the
didn't
very
make me cry,
beginning.
that one.
In the very
A lot of
beginning with the old
people.
man. Oh my god. Well, they're cartoons too, so I feel like I can have more empathy for them. But they were so sweet, and then she died, and he just became this lonely old man, and that made my heart hurt.
Yeah, I think the animated ones are worse, aren't they?
Mm-hmm.
I remember being really upset when Nemo's mum died.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
And that's
It's
right at the
upsetting.
beginning of the film. You're like, what the
Yes.
fuck is this? This is meant to be a kid's film.
This is bullshit. This should be rated R for really sad.
Okay. How far do you think you'd make it in a horror movie?
Do you want to answer this one first?
I would like to think that I would be a badass bitch. And I'd be like, I don't know if you've seen like Walking Dead or any zombie movies, but I feel like I'd like to be like Michonne with some fucking samurai swords and like
that'd be
well
cool.
art. But in reality, I think I'd just give up and die very quickly because I'd be like, there's nothing to live for. Why do I want to continue in this world that's crumbling and being taken over by zombies?
So I think I've said in the past on episodes where it's like if there was apocalypse of some sort, like a zombie apocalypse or like a meteor, I would just be like, I don't really want to try to survive this. So I'm just going to go to where my people are and die there.
Yeah. I saw a
So
post
yes,
the other day, actually, and it was like, why do people try so fucking hard in apocalyptic movies? Like,
just
I'd just
die.
be the first one to fucking die.
Yeah.
Fuck that.
Yeah. Yeah. So that is very much where I'm at in that type of scenario. But if we're talking about like a horror movie with like just a killer, right? If you were to consult the stars, I think they would say my sign would be one of the first to go, or be the serial killer, maybe even. And I too would like to think that I would be like I'd fight back or do my and I, I'm the type of person who's like, I'm not fucking going in the basement, okay?
Mm-hmm.
So
Don't go
there's some
upstairs.
yes, I don't know. Part of me wants to say I would, but then I also remember like we used to have to do these self-defense classes, like a mandatory training where it was like I have to try to disarm a gun. I have to try to get out of a chokehold. I have to, and I was like,
Ooh.
to be honest, sir, if someone really like is coming at me this way and wants to kill me, I'm probably just going to let them because some of the stuff required me doing some damage to them. And I'm
Oh,
like, I
really?
just don't know if I can do that. And so I think I'd just be like, just make it quick.
Just let me go fast.
Yeah.
I don't want to
So
suffer.
I don't think I'd make it very far is the bottom line.
No, don't. No, okay. This is a good one. Who would you trust to help you bury a body?
You.
Oh.
A few other people. You, Lauren, Aaron, Kim. I mean, the reality is I feel like all of you that I just named would be like, "What the fuck did you do? Are you sure this is how we're gonna go about it? Okay, I guess." And I like to joke. I'm like, do we need to goodbye or all that person? But I think that the reality is like I don't know if I would ever really put anybody in that situation. But I guess if we have to really kind of
No, it'd
go
be hard,
there with
wouldn't it?
some mental gymnastics, there are a few people I'd feel comfortable with, and I think you would help me.
Oh,
I also
thank
think
you.
you'd probably encourage me to go to the authorities. But
Yeah, probably. But then also, if I help you bury the body, then I'm entwined in this situation. Maybe we just keep this a secret. Don't tell anyone.
super no, I
All
didn't
right.
ask questions, and now it's a little too late to ask questions.
Yeah. Oh god.
What about you?
Yeah, same. Um, I think I'd trust Alan, Keith, my mum. Probably not my dad though. I just feel like he might rat me out.
Yeah, fair. He'd be like, I'm calling the cops right now. It'll be fine.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be the voice of reason here. Y'all are nuts.
The guilt would eat him alive, I think. So,
Yeah. Oh god, I
yeah.
think it would eat us alive too, to be
Oh,
honest.
yeah,
I
for
think
sure.
because probably the scenario would be like, oh shit, I accidentally did something and someone
Mm,
died, and then the reality is you call 911 and say an accident, right? But
mm. Yeah.
in our fictional world,
In our fictional
instead we
world.
bury bodies.
Do you believe in astrology?
No. Okay. Yes and no. I think it's really fun to read and learn about and talk about, and you can see traits of yourself and I think your sign, but
Mhm.
I also think I could see traits of myself in your sign and
Yep.
other people's signs. So I think it's fun, but I do not live my life by it. How about you?
As you know, I'm into a load of woo-woo shit.
Woo woo.
And as you say, like I don't read my horoscope every day and I'm like, "Oh, this is what I'm going to live
I
by."
better stay home today.
Yeah. But I do enjoy uh, like people that talk about Pluto's in conjunction with Uranus for the next 3 months and that's
Pluto's
going to
where by
cause
my butt?
Pluto is inside my butt hole. Um And sometimes it is interesting because, like, I will watch the videos in like retrospect of like shit that's been happening in my life, and then they'll explain that thing, and I'm like,
Mhm,
oh, it's just the planets ruling shit, man.
mhm. There's no such thing as, coincidence. It's all fate, predestined.
Exactly. Yes, I could do nothing about that. Not changing my attitude or my reaction.
Whatsoever.
It's just,
Yeah.
that's how I am. Okay.
In some ways, I feel very much like I'm a Cancer through and through, but then other times I'll see, because you'll see, since I look for it on Instagram, it's all I get now, but it's like, your sign as a cat. And I'm like, that's like the worst one. Why am I the worst one?
I love being an Aquarius. We've spoken about this before. But I quite like
Mhm.
it. And I was like, oh, great. Check me out. Humanitarian.
Independent, special, smart, beautiful,
Also
perfect.
aloof and weird, and that's very much me as well. I've been told loads of times that I'm aloof and rude and cold. So,
I don't find you to be that way, but I suppose that's kind of like, I know you and then versus initial meeting, but I am a Cancer. Do you need a blanket or a snack? But I'm gonna pinch you because I get angry and jealous and sensitive.
Which reality TV show competition would you win?
Oh, fuck me.
I don't know if fuck me is on telly.
It is. Naked Attraction. No, I'm just kidding. You go first. I have to think. Because I was about to be like Flavor of Love. And then I was like, oh no, I don't want to win that.
What's Flavor of Love?
It's when I was in college, so early 2000s. It was kind of the start of those celebrity dating shows, maybe the start of The Bachelor. But then, so like Bret Michaels, there was one for Bret Michaels of Guns N' Roses. Flavor Flav also had his own. So these women were competing to be with Flavor Flav. And that's what I mean when I say, oh, never mind, I don't want to win that. Because it was great to watch. I just don't want to be with Flavor Flav.
Fair enough. I don't know. I loved Big Brother in its heyday. And I think it's nice for people to win that because it shows that like you're an all-rounder, like decent person. Having said that, that is why I definitely wouldn't win because I'm grumpy in the morning and people piss me off and I like alone time. So being stuck in a house with 20 other people with loads of fucking cameras, not being able to leave, I'd probably go insane and have a mental breakdown, do a Britney, shave my hair off, shit
good TV,
in my hand and smear it on the window. So.
Very good TV.
Entertaining.
I think that with some preparation and practice, I could probably win something that is like amateur cooking based.
Ooh.
But that is even iffy. So I want to say probably some sort of reality TV show that revolves around like maybe trivia.
You'd be good at trivia, yeah.
But I don't think there is like a reality TV. Like there's game shows, but I don't
we
think
can
there's
count
reality. Okay, so Jeopardy maybe.
Okay, awesome.
But I'm thinking like Survivor, something with endurance, but endurance
Squid
that
Games.
isn't stressful. Yes, I would kill at Squid Games. Get it? Haha. No. It would be like everyone has to scoop the litter box for 6 hours straight. I'd probably be able to do that.
Now that is good telly.
Yeah.
Someone commissioned that fucking show.
But a lot of reality TV shows, if it's not like dating based or, finding a match based, it's like endurance based in some way. And I just don't like, I know on Survivor, knowing that it was for a finite period of time, I'd probably just lay there and like try to exert no energy. But then there's also like the voting piece. And since I wouldn't be contributing, I'd get voted off like right away.
Did you ever watch, I think it was called Survivor.
Yeah, I just said Survivor.
That's what where they drop people on an island.
Yeah.
Yeah. I used to get really fucked off with that. Because like the basics, Kate, are you find fresh water, you build a fucking shelter. Those are the two things you do when you get to a fucking desert island. And then you can think about food sources. But you need water, you need shelter. And what do? Just fuck around, sunbathing on the beach. There's always one person that's like, guys, we need to find some water and build a shelter. And they're like, no, don't worry about it. We'll be fine. Let's just get a tan.
You can do that, Steve.
Yeah. Well done, Jeff.
And then he gets voted off after he does all of that.
Yeah, and then he makes the shelter. They all argue about how they're gonna. Oh, it's just really annoying.
Yeah.
I'd lose my shit.
That's what I mean is like I wouldn't just sunbathe. I would do a little bit of helping because I think by nature I'm someone who is helpful, but I'd also be like, I am not gonna go catch food because I suck at that. So if I lay here and don't burn any calories, I will survive longer. And then they're gonna
That's
be like,
true,
Kate,
yeah.
Kate's just sitting in the shelter avoiding sun and nibbling on a leaf, so she's gotta go.
I wonder if I'd be any good. I think I would like buddy up with the person who clearly has the most survival skills and just be like their little like sidekick.
Yeah.
Like,
Oh,
yeah,
you want me
listen to
you want me
Steve.
to hold your purse?
Yeah. Want me to hold this stack of wood? I can do that. I can do that.
Yeah, be helpful in ways that make it seem like you're really contributing.
Yeah. Okay, what is the most admirable trait a person can have?
There might be a theme on this show, but I do think having empathy and selflessness, being able to like give and not be expectant of getting something in return and just like wanting to be like help and care about people, I think that's really important because I think part of the reason the world's so shitty is because everyone is selfish and only cares about themselves.
I agree. I also think like open-mindedness and people that are willing to change their minds when presented with new evidence is really great. Like, there's nothing worse than someone just sticking to their guns because that's what they've been told or brought up with.
Irrefutable evidence. Well, I still think what I think, but why? I just do because I feel like I'm right.
100%. Okay, this is a random one. What do you wear to sleep?
You go first.
I wear a t-shirt and pants.
Underwear or pants?
Underwear.
Yeah, same. I will typically start in fully clothed, but if it's summer and I'm hot, then probably will end up taking off clothes while I'm sleeping because I'm warm.
So do you go to bed in socks?
Sometimes, yeah.
Wow. I find that really weird.
My feet get cold.
You get cold little tootsies. Yeah, I mean, in the winter I'll wear pyjama bottoms. But in the summer I don't. I don't like wearing pyjama bottoms because I just find you wake up and they're just all like twisted and like fucking rolled up. I don't know what I do in my sleep, but
clearly gymnastics.
Yeah. Sometimes I wake up and like the duvet's completely turned round. I've got the poppers by my head and I'm like, how has that happened?
Yeah, I think no, I feel very, I think to fall asleep I need to feel very cozy and like kind of wrapped up, and that's why like clothing is helpful. So like it could be a t-shirt and pants and maybe no socks, but it could be socks and a hoodie too, and I can just kind of burrow, but then of course I wake up and I'm like wet because I'm hot.
Yeah. Do you have a weighted blanket?
I tried that once, and I think I got too heavy of a weight because I just felt like I was being suffocated.
Yeah.
I also just don't think that is something I need necessarily, but I do like to have my skin covered.
Yeah, I mean, regardless of the temperature, I need something on me.
Yeah.
You know how people
like
in the summer are just like, I just lay on the bed. And I'm like, how?
Those people are sociopaths.
Yeah, I agree. 100%.
You just let the open air touch you? Weird. Yeah. That's why I can't sleep on planes, because the blanket they give you is so tiny, and it's just like, well, you're expecting me to sleep just basically like raw dogging it.
Sitting pretty up much. Without a fucking blanket. No thanks.
I can't even get cozy.
My neck hurts.
Yep.
Would you ever go swimming with sharks?
Yeah, I think certain circumstances would, like, there's those like little harmless toothless sharks that you can kind of touch. Oh, those are dolphins. Never mind. Yeah. I think that because I've swam in the ocean, I think that, it's kind of like that's a risk you take. But I wouldn't do it if it were dangerous. But if it were like a controlled environment where you get in a tank and these sharks aren't going to go after you, then sure, I'd give it a go.
Would you do the one like where that you get in a cage and there's great whites just like swimming around?
if that were like my first experience, like with any sort of breathing apparatus and like going into the deep ocean, probably not. But if I had done some scuba diving and like kind of experienced baby steps up to that, maybe. But I just don't know if it could be like, all right, Kate, today's the day you're gonna put on a wetsuit and have a breathing tank and go deep into the ocean. Good luck. No, probably not. You?
I think I'd freak out. I have done scuba diving and I got taught to scuba dive, but in a swimming pool when I was younger. And I then later on went out snorkeling in a little cove and basically had a panic attack. Like, you know, when you look in the water, it was like Finding Nemo.
You just
There
saw a
was
bunch
like
of shit.
loads of fish, like, you know, loads of aqua life. And I don't know, it freaked me out. And I was like, I need to get out. I need to get out. I need to get out. So seeing a shark, I'd probably shit myself.
Yeah. Well, they'd probably leave you alone because I don't think they like shit.
True,
So.
they like blood. So
yeah.
as long as I've got no colon issues, it should be fine.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
No, I think that's the problem with the ocean is there's like so many unknown creatures and things there that makes it kind of scary. And I also like, you know, I've swam in lakes and ponds and rivers and it's like something touched me.
Yep.
Something touched me.
Oh, I hate
Oh
that.
my God.
I mean, you remember that from when we went to the lake.
Yeah.
And,
Oh God. It's just seaweed.
You forced me in because it was your birthday. I was like, I really don't want to. And then I just stayed on that blow up, not the blow up thing, like the big floaty mat.
Oh yeah, yeah. So you know, I don't love things touching me either. I like being in the water, but on a thing.
Yes, I agree. Give me a lilo and I'm fine.
A what?
A lilo?
I don't know what that is.
What? It's like one of those blow up beds that you float on in a pool.
Oh, okay. Yeah, like a pool float. Sure. Okay.
Yep.
Pool raft.
Pool raft. Ooh.
I don't know. I just never heard Lilo. That's a new one for me. I like it though.
That's what we call it. Lilo.
Nice.
If you could compete in, this is very topical, in any Olympic sport, which one would you pick?
I was going to say napping, but that's not true because I can't really nap anymore.
This year they've introduced breakdancing, and I am all for that.
Oh, I didn't know that. I wouldn't be able to do that either. But shit, if I could make up
we
my
could just
own
put you on the
sport.
floor. I'll just spin you.
Yeah,
like that.
I'm your top.
Yeah, you're my spinning top, and we'll win gold.
Probably. So when I ran track, I used to do hurdles, and I wasn't too terrible. So if I were in like peak form and trained, maybe that. But if I could make up my own sport, it'd probably be like sticks and cups or cat wrangling or sitting, just sitting for a while. I can wall sit for a really long time.
Yeah, that'd be good.
Again, endurance based.
Yeah.
How about
nice. You? Again, at school, I was quite good at long jump.
Oh.
But I don't think, you know, I was compared to the other students in my school,
Right.
not at a competitive level. I also used to do gymnastics, and that's the only sport I actually enjoy watching in the Olympics.
Yeah, gymnastics is great. They are insane.
They are insane.
Like the mat routines where they can literally do a jump and like a twist like 4 times in the air and then land. I'm like, you didn't even need a jump trampoline on that. You just jumped from the floor.
What the fuck are your legs made out of? Springs?
Yeah. So.
Yeah, it's crazy shit.
I think if we're assuming that we were able to train like the Olympic athletes, we can pick a thing that maybe we had some skill in. So for you, sure, maybe everyone at your school sucked at long jump and you were average compared to the rest of the world. But let's say you continue to train and practice and be good, then you can do long jump. I'm gonna allow it.
Oh, thank you. I'll take it. How many tabs are currently open on your phone?
Oh, I think there's a lot, which is not normal for me, but 43. Are you talking about internet browser tabs?
Yeah.
Or are you talking? Oh, yeah, 43.
Nice.
How about you?
I thought mine was in the same ballpark, but I've actually only got 30 because I think I went through and
cleared
some. Yeah, there's some that I've had open for like a few years. I'm like, oh, that'll be handy. And then I thought, actually, I've never fucking looked at that since, so I'm just gonna get rid of it.
And I absolutely refuse to use Bookmark.
Yeah, fuck that.
Now I'm deleting them. I'm like, oh, okay. I have my Myrtle up. I have something from the video game I was playing up. I have an article about Aquatennial, which was this past weekend. I have a bunch of other stuff I'm not going to read. Some clothes websites, Reddit. Anyway. Okay. Yeah. So
cool.
That was a fun off gotcha one.
Gotcha. Should we do a couple more?
Yeah.
Have you ever given yourself a haircut in a fit of rage?
No. You?
I once cut my fringe.
In a fit of rage, though?
Sort of. I was pissed off because I think I wasn't allowed to get bangs, or like a fringe, as we call it. So I thought, I'm going to do it myself.
And then they can't do anything about it.
Yeah. But what happened is I did one side, and then I did the other side, and they were wonky. So I cut a little bit off the other side, and then it was still wonky, so I just kept cutting.
Did you have baby bangs?
I just had a tuft on the top of my head, like I was sprouting a flower or grass.
How old were you?
About 8 or 9, I think. And I actually managed to hide it for a good few days because I just put a headband on my head and just kept it at the front. And then after a few days, I think my mum noticed the little tufts coming through and was like, "What have you done to your hair?" I was like, "Nothing. I've done nothing at all."
Understandable because you were so young, but where you should have stopped was after the initial cut, and they're fucked because your mom would have had no choice but to take you somewhere to get them fixed.
Yeah, but didn't think
I don't
that. I was
expect your
scared of
brain
getting
to
told
think
off, so I was like, I'm just gonna keep cutting.
Yeah, I have cut my hair when I was younger because I think that is a rite of passage for children. But it wasn't in a fit of rage. It was just more like, what's gonna happen if I like did it in the back,
so you can't see it.
Yes, and I think so mom's like, what the fuck? Okay, it's happened. Takes me to the hairstylist, and she's kind of like, well, on one hand, it wasn't in the front, so it's not like immediately obvious, but there's not a lot I can do back here.
You're just gonna have to wait till that grows.
Yeah, that's probably why I
out.
got like this weird fucked up little like cowlick back here now. Yeah. But yeah, I wasn't in a rage. It was just like, clink.
I wonder what's gonna happen here.
Yeah.
Have you ever wanted to start a podcast?
Nope.
No, hate it. Okay, do you have any interest whatsoever in climbing Mount Everest?
Nope. Don't really want to see all the dead bodies on my way up either.
Nope. I don't understand
that. No, adrenaline junkies, I think.
Yeah, just like, it's so fucking dangerous. I get like the first person. Like before anyone did it, like being the first person to climb Mount Everest, amazing feat, incredible challenge. But why are people still doing it? There's so many dead bodies up there.
Yeah,
it's
there's
so
green boots
dangerous.
right at the kind of first big part, and it's like, oh, it's green boots. We made it. And just this dead guy with green boots.
And even getting to what they call the base camp, which isn't at the base at all. It's
I think that's where green boots is.
Oh yeah, that's fucking dangerous in itself. And I just don't know why people do that. What are you trying to prove, mate?
Yeah, no, especially because it's like, a lot of other people have done it. And
more
been
people
successful.
have died.
So do you want to be a person who tried it and died? Because that's kind of pathetic.
You could just not try it and not die.
Yeah.
That seems like the better option to me.
Yeah, Green Boots is a body of an unidentified climber that became a landmark of the main Northeast Ridge route of Mount Everest.
Yeah, they use people's bodies as landmarks to work out where they are. That's fucked up, man.
Oh, they've identified him, I think. His name is... I wonder if it's because of all the melt that they're able to kind of go up and eventually identify him.
That's it. What if they all start...
Tiswang Paljor. Oh, he's only 28.
And also, I don't think...
death zone.
Oh,
don't go to the death zone.
Don't go to the death zone because...
Sorry, go ahead.
The name is bad.
Death zone.
Yeah, I don't think the Sherpas get enough credit. You hear all these people that conquered Everest, and it's like the Sherpas that do that every fucking day.
Mm-hmm.
Tourists, if you want to call them that.
Yeah.
Like they're doing it, they're putting their lives at risk
For you.
And no one
So
recognises
you can do
them.
it once. It's like I've done it 64 times.
Yeah.
I almost died half of those times.
Yeah. Well, there we go.
Yeah. Well, I feel like I know you so well.
Me too.
And
I
I
feel like
like
I've learned
you.
a lot. You
Let's
don't
do this
like me.
again. No, I like
Oh,
you.
you
Let's
do.
do this again sometime.
Sounds like a plan still.
That was fun.
Would you like to work out if someone's an asshole?
Yeah. You know what? I think I could be up for that. It sounds like fun.
This one's going to, well, I won't say anymore.
Okay.
Am I the arsehole for refusing to sign anything while my eyes are blindfolded?
Okay.
So ever since I got out of the hospital for chronic problems, my husband has been introducing me to some games every evening. One game used to be about doing puzzles while my eyes were blindfolded, involving puzzles, Rubik's cubes, shaped objects, etc., etc. And we'd take turns just to do it for entertainment.
Okay.
A couple of days ago, he's been trying to get me to sign papers while wearing a blindfold. I refuse to do it just because he never lets me take a look at what I'm signing, either before or after. He says that he was just trying to see if I could leave the same signature every time I sign, but I couldn't help feeling uncomfortable. I told him I don't want to play this game until he shows me the papers first, and he said never mind then and stopped bringing it up. Last night he tried to convince me to give it a try and even volunteered to go first. I asked if he was going to show me what I was going to sign, and he made a face and said no, it's the rules, and I should respect them. I refused, and he kept going on about how I keep acting worried and suspicious for no reason. He said I clearly don't trust him, and he was hurt by finding out now after everything we've been through. We had an argument, and I told him to drop it and not bring it up again, period. He was mad, despite saying it was no big deal. And he was obviously upset at me and kept talking about how I don't trust him and that I was out of line to assume or suspect anything from him like this. I might be paranoid, but I couldn't help it. I don't think I was TA to him after
The
he.
asshole.
Thank you. I don't think I was the arsehole to him after he stood by my side when my own family didn't even visit. That's it. Am I the arsehole?
My face, as you talked about that,
I could see it.
was just like, what the fuck? Ma'am, this man is trying to get you to sign life insurance papers so he can murder you. You need to run, not walk away from him. Because, like, I'm sorry. I'm hearing he's trying to get you more willing to do this by getting you to play games blindfolded, trying to say it's your signature, not letting you see before or after, unwilling, making these are the rules of the thing that you made up arbitrarily. This isn't a law. Like, I would be so concerned if, and then when you don't trust me after everything we've been through, that's fucking gaslighting.
Yep.
Like, this person is trying to get you to sign something that is not a benefit for you.
No. Otherwise, he'd just tell you and show
Yeah.
you.
Yeah.
Like, what the fuck? Red flag, red flag, red flag.
Yes, big, big, big red flags. I'm so concerned for this person that he's trying to murder her or get her to sign some sort of will or something. Like, what the fuck, dude? I don't know, calling the police. I think my husband's trying to murder me. I don't know.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Like,
Not the asshole
not
at all.
the
Don't sign shit
arsehole.
that you can't see, let alone can't read.
Yeah. Fuck that. Top comment. Not the arsehole, not the arsehole, not the arsehole. This is extremely suspicious. Obviously, he wants you to sign something important. Financial documents, loan, will, property, divorce papers. List could be endless. Do not sign anything blindfolded. And I would add on, do not sign on any blank paper from now on.
Mm-hmm. Just don't sign anything ever again.
No, just don't. And change your signature in case he's got it from you.
He's gonna just forge her signature, dude, and then deal with the consequences. God, what the fuck?
I know. What the actual
Anyone
fuck?
thinks she's the asshole? Just sign it, you bitch.
Just sign
It's
it.
probably her husband, not the
Yeah.
husband. He's just trying to play a game with you. Stop being so bitchy. Ugh. Wow.
Someone said,
That's go ahead.
someone said, like, or a suicide note. Oh, fuck.
Yeah.
So this person said, like, I would agree to the game, in quotes, and sign with a fake name like Katniss Everdeen, or with handwriting that's completely different to my normal signature.
His signature.
Yeah, the moment I'm about to finish the signature, I'd rip the blindfold off and look over the paper so I wouldn't have time to take it away. And even if he manages to take it away, before I see the signature, before I see it, the signature would be completely fake and he couldn't do anything with it. Or say
That's a
yes,
really good point.
pretend that you will sign and take the papers, get rid of the blindfold without signing anything and just look at the fucking papers. Not the arsehole.
Yeah.
I wouldn't trust him either. Not about to sign anything without signing it, especially not when he's being so pushy and persistent about it. Red flag. I think you're in for a hell of a wake up, and I hope you'll update us.
Yeah, that's a good point. Like at this point, I really would want to know what the fuck he was up to, and I would be like, "Fine. So what's gonna happen here? Like, you're gonna blindfold me. I'm gonna sit here. You're gonna hand me a pen. You're gonna put something in front of me, and then I would be like getting ready to sign it, and then I just like put so he couldn't yank it, and because I would be like, "What the fuck do you want me to sign?"
Yeah, the fuck, mate. Like, people in the comments are like seriously worried. Like,
Yeah. No, seriously, it's so bizarre that you can't help but think the worst. Especially when he's like, "Never mind then. You can't see." Because it's a very reasonable thing to ask
yeah,
for a game
very
that he
worrying.
made up.
And I hope she's okay. I hope she fucking
Yeah.
got out of that situation.
Yeah, I hope there's an update. If you can bookmark that or something so you can see it, do it.
Yeah, I'll try and find
Is
it.
this one of the older ones though?
Mm-hmm.
Oofed.
Yeah, I'll have a look and see if
Matt, if you're listening and there's an update, send it to me. He's really good about that.
Oh, good. Oh, there we have it. Creepy.
Yeah. Ugh. Not the asshole. He's a serial killer.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
Well, on that note, the summary of the world's horrible. Gemma and I got to know each other a little bit, and someone out there is trying to kill their wife.
What a beautiful summarization of episode 55 of Talking Shit with Yang and Brit. Thank you for listening.
Tell them where to find us.
You can find us on all your podcast platforms. We're also on YouTube now. Woo!
Woo! Only 53 episodes, whenever you did it.
They're all up now. So yeah, we're on YouTube now. It's TSYB Space Pod, I think. Not the word space, like
there's a space.
There's a space in between TSYB and pod. But you can also get us on, various social media apps at TSYB Pod. Or if you want to send any stories, any reactions to what we've spoken about, then email us. It is indeed.
The actual handle doesn't have a space, but the name of it does on YouTube, just so everyone knows.
Cool. So if you search TSYB Pod, it should come up.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you can email us at talkshittous@gmail.com. Also, if you could please like, follow, subscribe, whatever it is in whatever platform you're listening to us on, and give us a 5-star rating, please.
Absolutely. Nothing but 5 stars, because this is obviously 5-star content. I mean, we spent 12 minutes talking about hair, so what more could you want?
We're just giving the people what they want.
True. No, it was good talking to you.
And you, yeah, I enjoyed it.
See you next time. Yeah, me too.
That was seductive. See you next time.
See you next time when I try to get you to sign your suicide note so I can murder you and make it look like a suicide.
As long as it's a game, I'm in.
All right. Well, it was good talking to you.
And you.
Bye.
Goodbye.